When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see. No, I won't be afraid. Oh, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me.
My name is Damien Daraj. I'm 9 years old. I am in the Melbourne Victory Pre-Academy. My project is about ex-Melbourne Victory player Diego Ferreira. He is my trainer and mentor. My project will be about his time at Melbourne Victory. I want to understand what it takes to be a Melbourne Victory player. From our past, we can learn to create a better future.
Pick out Thompson, over the air it goes, Mendes leaps, and then Ferreira! Oh, what a goal by Diogo Ferreira! And Melbourne Victory are in heaven here. They lead 3-0. What a strike! Well, maybe Christmas is coming a week early, because as lucky as the second goal was, so too was this spectacular. Harry Gill just bosses Billy Selesky off the ball. That takes another deflection. And that is beautiful. Really, that is beautiful from Diogo Ferreira. Spectacular stuff. That's Diogo Ferreira certainly played his part tonight.
Where did you play before Melbourne Victory and how were you selected to play for Melbourne Victory?
Right, so before Melbourne Victory, I started when I was around your age at Essendon Royals. So I played there for a little bit and then I went to Green Gully until I was about 15 years old. When I was 15, I actually went to Portugal and I went on trial there at a club called FC Porto. And I ended up staying there until I was about 18 in Portugal. And then from then, I came back to Australia. I played with Green Gully back then it was the Victorian Premier League, but it's like the NPL now. And I played there for a few months, and then from there I moved to Victory. So that was how I got there.
What was it like to play your first game for Melbourne Victory?
My first game was really good to play. I really enjoyed it. Obviously, everyone, when you're young like you want to become a professional footballer. So all the hard work that I had done until then, I kind of felt like it was a little bit of a reward. I knew it was only the start, but it was a little bit of a reward for all the hard work and effort that I had put in. My first game was actually in the Asian Champions League at Etihad Stadium, and I came on for maybe like 5 minutes, but it was really interesting. It was 5 minutes, but it felt like I played 90 minutes, just adrenaline, and I was really, really nervous. But it was really good to get that game over and done with, and that way I could move forward and just really kickstart my career.
What are your best memories of your time at Melbourne Victory, and who are some of the players you played with?
So best memory at Melbourne Victory would have to be the first derby ever. So it was Melbourne Victory against Melbourne City. That back then it was Melbourne Heart. And it was at Etihad Stadium, and I remember I started that game and we walked out and the whole stadium was packed. I still remember I got goosebumps all over just because it was a really big crowd there. So that was that's my best memory. And obviously, even though I was an attacking player, but some of the goals I scored as well for Victory, some of the big Blues against Sydney, which really stained my memory as well. In terms of some of the players, so best players I played with, I've come across a lot of good players, but some of the better ones I would say probably be like Archie Thompson, Carlos Hernandez, Kevin Muscat, because I still played with Muscat as well, Harry Kuehl, Marco Rojas. So I've been lucky enough to play with a lot of good players, and that's just naming a few.
How often did you train and how hard was training?
So during the season, we trained pretty much every day, except we used to have one day off. So just say we played on a Saturday, Sunday might be a recovery day, and then we'll have Monday off, and then we'll train for the rest of the week. And usually sessions, during the season it wasn't too hard because really we were trying to save all our energy for the weekend's games. Everything was preparing for the game. We used to do one double session, which would be a training session in the morning and then a gym session in the afternoon. But other than that, of course it was intense, but it wasn't as hard as just say pre-season. So pre-season training was really, really hard because obviously here in Australia we have a long break. So we used to have a few months off. So that was really hard because we used to do a lot of double sessions and a lot of really, really, really hard sessions on the pitch to get us prepared for the season.
What does it take to be a Melbourne Victory player?
I think what it takes at your age and someone that's trying to get there is first you need to have talent. At the end of the day, you need to be a good footballer. So that's number one. You need to be smart on the ball. You need to know the game. But most importantly for me that I found from my career is that you need to be really hardworking. You need to be willing to sacrifice as well. A lot of people want what comes with being a footballer, but they don't want to do the hard work. So when you do the hard work and you really put in and you really train hard and you dedicate yourself and you sacrifice a lot of life, because there's a lot of big sacrifices that you wouldn't know at your age. But as you get older, football's not just all about Ferraris and Maseratis and $1 million. That's not how it works. There's a lot of, especially here in the A-League, there's a lot of hard work. And that's what it comes down to, a lot of hard work and sacrifice.
Thank you for watching my museum project. It is my dream to one day play for Melbourne Victory like Diego did. I know that I need to work very hard to make this happen. See you soon on the training pitch. And remember, our history is our future.